Hello, beautiful people. I wanted to touch on the matter of forgiveness, right? For me personally, forgiveness has been something that's always been in my mind, the back of my mind. But it wasn't until recently where I've come to the intention, right, to want to forgive like Jesus, like God has done, right? I want to be at God's level, right? In terms of forgiveness and love. Earlier this year, my intention was, God, I want to love like you. Jesus, I want to love like you. And then recently, because I am in a spiritual mentorship at this time, so I asked myself, where am I spiritually and where do I want to be? So in the beginning, it was, God, I want to love like you, right? And I'm still learning, right? But then forgiveness came to mind, and when I asked myself recently, where am I at and where do I want to be, is I want to learn how to forgive. I want to be able to forgive like God forgives. And so yesterday I was at Hobby Lobby and I was waiting. There was a long line, and they always have book stands right there at the checkout. And so a specific book, well, technically a workbook, because I didn't realize there was a book that came with it until I looked right next to it. But I picked up the workbook first, and the title was "Forgiving What You Can't Forget," right? Learning to forgive what you can't forget, creating peace of mind, and learning to live a beautiful life again, right? But in that workbook, I was skimming through pages, and it landed on a page, and in that page, it had different um, key points towards forgiving, and one of those was forgiveness is a decision and also a process. And that brought so much peace to my heart, because again, I'm learning to forgive, and that is very hard to do, especially when it comes to people that you love, that you still have love for. And it could be hard because there's love there, but there's still that resentment, there's still that pain, there's still that anger, that frustration that comes with being hurt or wounded by such people or person. And so I've realized that there are people that I love, regardless of what's been done, regardless if I've been collateral damage or not, regardless if it was intentional or not, like I still love them. And so it's like, how can I truly be at a better place? How can I truly say I love this person while I'm still learning to forgive, right? Because it's true, forgiveness first is a decision, and then it's a process. And so I feel like we must make that decision first, and set the intention of we're gonna forgive, right? And then unfolding the process and learning that, just like Jesus told Peter, aka Simon, when it came to Matthew, like, you don't just have to forgive 7 times, you have to learn how to forgive 77 times if you have to. And I personally interpreted that as, it's a process, it's a decision. If you're gonna forgive, but also understand that it may not take just 7 times. It may take you 77 times. It may take you 100 times. But it's a daily process. It's a daily decision to say, you know what? I'm forgiving. I want to forgive this person, because God has forgiven me, right? None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. And I still also believe that there are things that can be forgiving. There are things that may take longer or shorter time to forgive. And there are some things that you may not be able to forgive in this lifetime. I'm in there with you, right? And so I feel like a lot of the intention to wanting to forgive now is, I want to soften my heart again. I feel like God is showing me all this grace and all this love towards me, so then I can in return do the same, right? And if I want to be the light, one of the lights of, walking here on earth of God, then I need to embrace that and embody it, right? And so forgiveness has been a lot on my mind. And again, there's days that I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna forgive, and then there's days where I'm like, you know what, I ain't forgiving nothing. But then that also gets my heart cold. That also makes me shut down. And again, I'm in the process, and I'm in the time of my life where I want peace. I want to embody love. I want to feel love. I want to give love. And I don't just want to give it or feel it. I want it to be genuine and authentic and heartfelt, where it bleeds in such a beautiful way onto everyone else, right? And so, I don't know. I just felt the call to share. I had someone reach out via DMs today too, saying how they resonated with the message, that they felt it was confirmation that they're on the right path. And that's what it's all about. That's what this movement is all about: opening up, being vulnerable, being able to humanize with others, and connect, and understand that you're not the only one who has ugly feelings and bad feelings, that you're not the only one who's hurt, you're not the only one trying to change, trying to heal, trying to love, trying to be life and live life. Like, we have a lot of things in common. We may live different lives, but we're still human. We still want to love. We still want to be felt and heard and seen. And when it comes to forgiveness, that's a very sensitive topic to touch on, because of hurt takes over, right? And I just want to be able to share my testimony one day when it comes to forgiving the people who have hurt me the most, right? And I've come to realize that a lot of the hurt that has been caused was never about me. I just so happened to be collateral damage, right? Not saying that I'm perfect, that I was, intact and never did anything wrong in return, but that the main hurt that I've been dealt with had nothing to do with me. It was just a reflection of their own suffering, right? And so that's where grace and mercy comes in, and what has allowed me to at least open up my mind and heart to want to explore the field of forgiveness. So let me know your thoughts, and looking forward to engaging and having a meaningful conversation around this. But if this video resonates, let me know, and we'll talk soon.